Waheguru Sahib Ji, Satnam Sri Waheguru Sahib Ji. So the Singhs have done benti to Guru Sahib Ji and are saying ki Maharaj sada taram keve asi rakhange. I mentioned this last week that people that are walking on the path, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ their taram, their faith is the most important thing in their life. Even if they have to give their life up, they will give their life up, but long as their taram stays intact. That's what we learn from history, right? Whereas you got people that that live in this world that don't care about taram. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ taram ਬਾਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ. They don't care that je ho gaya, but because the reason why they don't care about taram is because they're under the pressure of society. They're under they want to follow what the world's doing. They want to follow that side, right? But ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਕਰ ਆ, they are worried ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਧਰਮ ਹੁਣ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਰੱਖਾਂਗੇ. So ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, we'll do that. And Maharaj, you can do anything. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਹੋ, you can do anything. Guru Sahib Ji then said by Dayal Singh Ji, by Taram Singh, by Man Singh Ji, ਐਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ, don't worry about anything. ਤੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਨਾ ਕਰੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ. When they put the food in front of you, then do jap saying Satnam Vaheguru and do Mool Mantar. And use your kirpan and put your kirpan in the food. Keep saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Then eat it. Fir shakyo. So, ਇੱਥੋਂ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ whenever they eat anything, this is anything, right? Even ਜੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੀਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ, they'll do Mool Mantar, they'll do a little salok from Gurbani, and then they'll eat it, then they'll drink it. Because they're thanking Maharaj. And Puratan Singh ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀਗੇ, when they used to go and do missions and stuff, sometimes even the Khadku Singhs in the 1980s, 1970s, 1980s, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ Khadku Singh ਸੀ, their life was always under threat, so someone could give them poison, they would always do part on that food, which will give them that protection. Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, use your kirpan and put it in the food, but keep saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, then eat it. And after you've eaten it, then do this, tie some of it up in a cloth and bring that to me. Mere kol le aayo. When they come and call you again, go to the rasoi and go to the kitchen and do Mool Mantar. Uthe bhi Mool Mantar ja ke kariyo. ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਖੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਯਾਦ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ. ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਬੀਬੀ ਆਈ ਪੰਜ ਪਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਕੋਲ. She came to the ਪੰਜ ਪਿਆਰੇ and she wanted to take Amrit. This one bibi did, right? But ਰੋਂਦੀ ਆਈ, she was crying. She came in front of them and she goes, I want to take Amrit. The Panch Pyare will always ask the baby, they go, are you married? She said, I am married. She goes, where's your husband? They ask, where's your husband? Husband kithe? And then she goes that my husband is not going to take Amrit. Oh, pindaya, he drinks alcohol, sharab pinda, raj ki sharab pindaya, mas khanda, sara kuch karta hai. Unhe kitho Amrit chakna unhe. And then they said, like they said to that, they said, Mata, look, if we were to give you Amrit, would you be able to look after your Amrit without, in that type of household where you need to keep your food separate from him, then you can't share the same bed as him, will you be able to keep that? And she goes, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. And then she goes, tusi fir dasso ki kara, because tang hui si, she used to get beaten by him, oh kotta marda hunda siga. And then they said, okay, do this, do one thing, hona panj pyaryan da hukam a. They said, in the kitchen, whenever you make food, make sure you do Mool Mantar da part. Mool Mantar da part kariyo whenever you're making food, even if you're making meat for him. फिर भी मूल मंत्र का पाठ करना है, yeah? So she started doing that. वो करने लगी, and then hauly, a year later, वो दोनों आए and दोनों ने अमृत छकिया. They both took अमृत together. उन्हें शराब छाड़ती, मीट छाड़ता, stop, जीवन ही बदल गया, right? From doing मूल मंत्र. And one of the reasons why Maharaj is saying is that in the rasoi where our food gets made, you should try your best to have either Simran playing or Kirtan or Path, Chote Shabde Path, like continuously in the kitchen. Because when you're making food, that bani using vibrations in the atmosphere will affect that food, will affect whatever you make. It will have an asar on everyone that will. So Maharaj kende, some historians have written though here that is saying Maharaj kende unhe Japji Sahib da Path kariyo jaake, in the kitchen. But either part has got the Shakti to change anything. And there's so many Sakhiyan where Mool Mantar has even changed people's fates. Mool Mantar has given power to people. Mool Mantar, that part, yeah, if you do it properly, just siddh kar lo na, Shaktiyan. There's so much power in Mool Mantar. Mool means the jad, the root of all mantras in the entire universe. Jo bhi mantra, there's nothing more stronger than the mool mantra. And there's so many sakya that we can go into. But so this officer went back to the main officer and they're in charge and said, like, this peer doesn't eat much. He has one burki for the whole day. However, the other 5 will eat. The other 5 being Ghani Khan, Nabi Khan, the 2 Muslim brothers, and then Pai Daya Singh Ji, Pai Taram Singh Ji, Pai Man Singh Ji. Shall I go and call them? The officer in charge said, yes, go and call them. So the officer came to take all the other 5 then. They get up and they go to the place where they're going to eat. There's other Muslims sitting there. The officer in charge is sitting there. Ode naal hor Musliman baithe ne, hor Mughal sipahi baithe ne, and they're talking amongst themselves. They're saying that, you know, the Sikhan da Guru jeda Guru Gobind Singh, ode vich Shakti kinni a, that no one could go near him. We surrounded him with 1 lakh fauj, 10 lakh fauj. 10 lakh is 1 million. Onu kera pa liya si Chamkaur di gadi nu, par fir bhi they clapped and they still got out of that. How was that? One of the arrows was killing hundreds and thousands of our soldiers. Unhone bahut zyada nuksan kita, but us Shakti kinni sigi. He left the battlefield clapping when he was leaving. He even said ki Hind da peer ja reha, je rok sakde hain rok lo sanu. Right? Because Panja ne hukum benti kiti, Panj Singha ne, Panj Pyare ne benti kiti Maharaj nu. They said, Maharaj, look, you can make so many of us Khalsas, but thode arga to koi hor banna nahi hega. So Maharaj benti sadi mano, tusi itho chhad ke chal jo. And then Guru Sahib ji kende chalo benti mande ha, we'll leave. Then if you're saying we'll leave this battlefield, nahi ta Maharaj was garm ho rahe sige. Maharaj was getting ready to come into the battlefield. And I remember saying this last year when we were going through all the Singhs when they go out wari to go and fight. So Baba Ji Singh Ji, Pai Mohkam Singh Ji lalo, Pai Mohkam Singh Ji said ki Maharaj, let me go out on my own and fight. The 1 million fauj, main kalya ne jaake ladna hai. I want to go out and fight on my own because I want to make your bachan pura, jehda 1.25 lakh se 1 ladaun, jehda bachan tusi kita siga, oh main pura karna hai. And kinne chaah naal keh reha hai. Maharaj kende ja, and then he went out. And the way it's described with him fighting is described that when he goes and jumps into the battlefield and the way he grabs his enemy, just like a crocodile grabs his prey and starts twisting and turning, that's how Pai Mohkam Singh Ji are going through the battlefield with their kirpan. They're just slicing everyone up, and the way they're moving is amazing. With the way Baba Jeet Singh Ji's, it looks as if Baba Jeet Singh Ji's feet aren't even touching the ground. That's how fast Baba Jeet Singh Ji are moving. But they're saying that he left the battlefield clapping, saying, and we couldn't still touch him. And so they're talking amongst themselves. As they're talking, all 5 of them have now gone and they sit amongst them. Sare jaake beh jande ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ around this table. They tell the chef to bring the food. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਸੋਈਆ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਓ. The main officer in charge then asks the 5. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪੰਜਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਚ ਦਾ ਪੀਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਇਆ ਆ, where have you come from and where are you going? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਆਏ ਹੋ? Ghani Khan and Nabi Khan then spoke, and then they said, ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਚ ਦੇ ਪੀਰ ਆ, ਇਹ ਬੇਫਿਕਰ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, they're carefree. They do whatever they want. Mast ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਆ, ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, they can do whatever they want to. No one can know what they will do or what they want to do as well. They can make someone rich in an instant, or they can make someone poor in an instant as well if they want. No one is on the same level as them. ਕੋਈ ਇਹ ਪੀਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੀਰ ਨੇ, ਇਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਉੱਚੇ ਆ. And so ਉਸਤਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ. The chef, while they're doing ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, the chef then brought food, all the food out, big thaliyan. They gave one big thali to Ghani Khan and Nabi Khan. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੋਰੇ ਰੱਖਤੀ. They put one big thali full of food in front of Pai Daya Singh ਜਾਂ Pai Taram Singh Ji. And then another thali, big thali, was put in front of the main officer in charge. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਦਾ main ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹਦੀ ਮੋਰੇ ਰੱਖਤੀ. And then he turns to Pai Man Singh and he ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, come sit with me, ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਆ ਕੇ ਬੈਠ, and we'll share this one. ਅਸੀਂ we'll share this thali then. They start eating the mass. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਖਾਣ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਆ, ਖਾਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਖਾਣਾ. The other Muslims as well around, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਥਾਲੀਆਂ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਆ, and they start eating as well. They start eating the mass as well. Then slowly what happens is the Singhs take out their kirpan out, and then saying Satnam Vaheguru kirpan ਫੇਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵਿੱਚ. Then Pai Man Singh does the same thing with his kirpan. in that one thali with his kirpan, he puts the kirpan in the food, puts half towards the officer in charge and put one half towards his side. And the officer then saw this and said, what are you doing? You ruined the food. Muslims don't do this. ਅਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੇ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਪੇਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਖਾਣੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਤੂੰ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਲਿਆ why have you done this? Then Bhai Man Singh said straight away, look, he goes, when we went to Makkah with our Peer, ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੱਕੇ ਗਏ ਸੀ ਪੀਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਨਵੀਂ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ. They started a new ਮਰਿਆਦਾ off in Saudi. ਹੁਣ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਫੋਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, there were phones or anything like that, only if you went there ਫੇਰ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਹੈ, right? They go, this is a new rule that Muslims have started off ਕਿ ਲੋਹੇ ਦੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ, but that has to go into the food, it has to touch the food. ਇਹ ਨਵੀਂ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਹਨਾ, we're just doing that. ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਨੂੰ follow ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, we're just following the ਮਰਿਆਦਾ. Then the food is ready to eat. our ਉੱਚ ਦਾ ਪੀਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਚ ਦਾ ਪੀਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ, they've told us to do this and we're following that. And then as the Singhs then would pick up the khana to eat it, Guru Sahib ne idan di kautak vartai, they did such a miracle that all that food that was touching the kirpan was turning into Qada Prashad. It turned into Qada Prashad, jara si shakde hain. Half in that thali, adha maas siga ode wal, and then adha Qada Prashadi siga that was they were able to eat. And they carried on eating in that way. A Guru Sahib ji kirpaya, you'll get in today's day and age, is unfortunate, but afsoos di gall hai. It's sad to hear this when people say that that's just folk tale really, right? How can that happen? How can food, that's one thing, turn into something else, right? And I've always used this example and I've always said that if you on one side you believe in Vaheguru and then on one side you say, how can this happen? That means you don't believe in Vaheguru. Because if you believe in Vaheguru, then anything can happen. Vaheguru's power is limitless, right? Everyone will agree with that. Otherwise, what you're doing is you're putting a limit on Vaheguru. Ki Maharaj itthe tak hi ja sakde hai, Maharaj di Shakti itthe tak hi ja sakdi hai, and baki nahi ho sakda. You can't do anything else. Hanji.
Yeah, it's literally because they haven't seen a miracle, so they think miracles can't happen.
Yeah, it's beyond their understanding. That's what it is. It doesn't mean that if it's beyond your understanding, then it doesn't mean that doesn't exist, that can't happen. But Guru Sahib ne kirpa kiti and another term eda rakhya apne Bhai Daya Singh, Bhai Taran, Bhai Man Singh ji da, and they were able to keep their term in that way, right? ਹੋਰ ਸਾਖੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ, right? With the whole Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Sakhi. When Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj was testing right towards the end, when they were going to give the Guru Gaddi to the next Guru, they said to Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, as they were walking through the jungle, ਉੱਥੇ ਲਾਸ਼ ਪਈ ਸੀਗੀ, Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਲਾਸ਼ ਖਾ ਤੂੰ, eat the body, and then ਉਹ ਰੁਕ ਗਏ, they waited, they stopped, and then Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj said to Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, they said ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਡਰ ਗਿਆ ਤੂੰ, ਤੈਂ ਬਚਨ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. And then they said, no Maharaj, I'm waiting for you to tell me, shall I start from the head or shall I start from the feet? But then Jodo Chakya, then it was there's two counts for this. There's either it was Qada Prashad or there was a pile of flowers there, right? So Maharaj ne eda kirpa bahut wari kiti hai. Maharaj ne chutki di gala is, when I say chutki di gala, it's just a click of a finger. Maharaj can do anything, absolutely, right? So by Man Singh ji, by Taram Singh ji, then tied up a little bit of food, as Maharaj said. The kapde ch ban liya khana thoda ja Qada Prashad jehda siga. They got water, washed their hands, and then all five went back to where Guru Sahib Ji were. Guru Sahib Ji then asked the Singhs, did you bring back any food? Khana jehda main kya se leke aaye si. Bhai Man Singh, Bhai Taram Singh Ji showed the food. Guru Sahib Ji fir kende ki look after this food, jehda khana tusi leke aaye ho, eda tusi khayal rakhyo. If we ever ask for it, then show it to us. In this tent, Guru Sahib Ji, they're in this tent, tambu vich a, Sham da vela ho gaya, Guru Sahib Ji lay down to rest. When the sun rose the next day, nearby lived a Musliman called Anaid Ali. He had sharda for Guru Sahib Ji. What happened was, because you know the general, the officer in charge of that area, when he saw Uch da Peer, because remember, at that time, everyone is on a lookout. Everyone is trying to find Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Because especially from Chamkaur side, right? They've sent out search parties, they go Labbo Guru Sahib Ji nu, and then everyone are on high alert. Isi tarah, the officer in charge, he's on high alert, and he's got shock, he's got doubt. Who is this Uch da Peer? We've never heard of him. But they're in disguise, they've got this doubt in their mind, right? Nearby where they were, near Machiwada, Ote, there lived a Muslim called Anayad Ali. And Anayad Ali had met Maharaj a couple of times at Anandpur Sahib, at Paonta Sahib. He had met over his life, over a certain time, he had met Maharaj a couple of times. So he knew who Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj were. The officer in charge called him, and Anayad Ali, he's a wise person. They called him to where they were. Anayad Ali, then as he's got to that area, he knows that they've called me for a reason. And he knows that they've called me for a reason for this very purpose, to see if it's Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Or the Manavich Siga, he had this in his mind. So then Anayad Ali went into the tent. As soon as he went into the tent, he saw Guru Sahib Ji. He knew who Guru Sahib Ji were. Unhe siddha aake matha tekta Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj nu fir. He bowed down to Maharaj. Sharda si, he knew who Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj were. Guru Sahib Ji then said, go to where the main officer is, go to where the quarters are, or go to where his room is. He was wise. They want to meet you. He was wise. Then he went quickly to where the main officer was, and others all there in this room having a meeting. Now Anayad Ali, this Qazi, he did namaskar to the officer in charge. He just bowed to him. Then the officer asked Anayad Ali, you know that Peer that has come, have you ever seen him before? Do you know him? That's why we've called you. Recognize him to see if it is Gobind has destroyed our armies. Just after that, after he destroyed our armies, he clapped his hands and he escaped. So we're searching for him. That's why we've stopped these lot. Just in case. If you know them, then let me know. Sanu das, minu das. And then, Hanji. Uch de Pira. Uch means the highest of highest peers, right? And they're coming back from Hajj. Hajj to Areya. And he starts praising Guru Sahib Ji. Starts doing their ustad. Starts praising Guru Sahib Ji. And he said that Anayad Ali, then in front of everyone, Anayad Ali then said, Eta Pira de Pira. They can do anything. Kuch bhi kar sakde hai. You stop these at night, then rok le inna nu. Have they not cursed you there? Unhe thonu sharaf nahi ditta hai. They have so much bal, they have so much strength. Your destiny is good that they haven't said anything to you. Your destiny is very good. Whatever they say becomes true. Hearing this, the officer got scared. As you would, right? You'd get scared. Straight away, he got up with his servants. He goes, Chalo. He took out 500 rupees from his pocket. And with Anayad Ali, the Qazi, they went running to where Maharaj's tent was. And then they sat next to Guru Sahib Ji. Guru Sahib Ji de kol. And then the officer said that, Hey Piran de Pir, I beg for your forgiveness. The officer in charge, he goes, Maharaj, I beg for your forgiveness for stopping you in the middle of the night. And he puts the 500 rupees down in front of Maharaj. Dekh ke, Guru Sahib Ji then said, it's not your fault. Teri galti thodi hai. You're just carrying out orders, right? No harm has come to us. Koi sanu tangi ta hoi nahi. What we'll do is, we're going to go in a short while. Asi to chal jana thoda church. We're not upset. Sanu koi tangi nahi hoi. Asi udas nahi hege. Sanu koi eda hai nahi. Then the officer then folded his hands and then said, wherever you desire to go, wherever your ichha is to go, you can go. Tusi ja sakde ho, you can go. So kehna matlab, you know this bit of the Pasang where Maharaj disguised themselves, the saints disguised themselves to get out of the area. Look, Maharaj didn't have to do that. They could have easily, just like they destroyed the armies at Chamkaur de Gadi, itthe bhi kar sakde sige. Maharaj had all the powers in the world, right? But Maharaj knew in the future, the Khargu Singhs, whenever they did a mission, they would change their disguise. By Avtar Singh Brahma, Shaheed by Avtar Singh Brahma, if you read up on their story, their history is amazing. If you just Google their name, Shaheed by Avtar Singh Brahma at one point was the most wanted man in the whole of Hindustan, the whole of India. They had a big bounty on their head. All because Bhai Avtar Singh Brahma were fighting against injustice. They were fighting against the Punjab police. They were fighting against the Indian government, right? But whenever they went and did missions, when I say missions, they went out and took Papi Dusht. They took them out. They assassinated Papi Bande. they assassinated people that did committed loads of crime, they'd committed rape, ਸਾਡੇ ਬੀਬੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨੂੰ the raped, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸੌਦਾ ਲਾਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ, anyone that did ਬੇਅਦਬੀ of Guru Sahib ji, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸੌਦਾ ਲਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਕੇ, yeah, and Bhai Avtar Singh Brahma single-handedly took down a helicopter. Now to take down a helicopter, ek koi shoti gal nahi hai. Yeah, just think about it for 1 second. To take down a helicopter, you need like proper big boy guns, big missiles or RPG rocket launchers. But Bhai Avtar Singh Brahma, just with their AK-47, took down a helicopter. They change their disguise loads of times to go and do missions. They've got loads of different pictures of their disguise as well. And it told me Guru Sahib did that, just that. So the officer folded his hands and said, wherever you wish to go, you can go. So, but he also said, please come and give us darshan another time, please. Come and give us darshan. He then goes back to his quarters. Guru Sahib ji then get ready to leave this place. They pick up Guru Sahib ji's palanga, the manja that Maharaj is sitting on. Gani Khan, Nabi Khan, by Daya Singh ji, by Taram Singh ji, they pick up Maharaj's manja and Guru Sahib is sitting on it, and they carry them out of Machiwara jungle. Anayad Ali then runs runs up to Maharaj and the Singhs, Namaskar kardaya fir, and then he goes to Maharaj. He goes, Maharaj, I didn't mention your name. Main thoda naa nahi liya uthe. Yeah. But Maharaj, what will I do if they find out? Je ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਝੂਠ ਬੋਲਿਆ. If I lied, ਜੇ ਬਾਤੋਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸੀਗੇ, then Maharaj, I'm going to need your protection. I'm going to need you to protect me. Then Guru Sahib ji said, and Aydali, tenu tatti vaab nahi lagan davange assi. We're not going to let anyone harm you. No one is going to be able to even touch a hair on your body. People like you, Khuda will always protect you. Maharaj will always protect you. People like you, Khuda looks after you. He gives everything to you. Sara kushi tenu Maharaj denge. And Aydali edda karde hain. If you can get pen and paper, if you've got pen and paper, I will write a hukamnama. I'll write it, I'll sign it, then all the Sikh Sangat of the Qawm will give you respect and they will serve you. Rendi dunya tak tera nawa lenge. Now, guys, before today, listen to this Katha. I never heard of this before. Main kade sunaya hi nahi ki aha jo meena sada chalda ya. Quite often we forget. We remember Guru Gobind Singh Ji. We remember Baba Ajit Singh Ji, Baba Jujhar Singh Ji, then Baba Zorar, Baba Fateh Singh Ji, and Mata Gujjar Kaur Ji. Quite often, utthe tak hi ruk jande asi. We stop there, right? But jehde Gursikh, jehde Mahan hoye ne, for example, like by Moti Ram Mehra, all he did was, ode man vich ichha si, he had a desire to just give milk, warm milk, to the Shaibzaade that were in the cold tower. Thanda burj vich jo thande burj vich gaye si, ohne sirf ta sirf dodh hi ditta. He didn't give nothing else, right? The fact that he bribed the security guard, he gave them gold, he gave them his wife's gold. His wife said, "Mera sona lega sara, give them the gold, but we should carry on doing the seva." One of the times came where the sona bhi sara deta, jewelry sari deti, sara koshi deta. Then by Moti Ram Mehra goes to his wife, what should we do now? Then by Moti Ram Mehra ji's wife said, give the house to them as well. Sara koshi de de inanu. Look at the mentality that they've got, right? Ki a Hindu aik. Moti Ram Mehra is a Hindu and he's given everything all just to give milk. Now if we were in that situation, would we ever do that? Would we ever think about, let's give our whole house all just to give milk to the Shaibzaade and Mata Gujjar Kaur Ji? By Moti Ram Mehra ji hoya, by Todar Mal ji hoya, jo sara kuch bech ke they brought land so they could do saskar of Maharaj, the Shaibzaade and Mata Gujjar Kaur Ji, so they could cremate them, right? And then now aaj pata lag gaya there was Anayat Ali. Ere karke Anayat Ali helped Maharaj escape from Machiwara jungle. And then Maharaj Maharaj doing so much kirpa on them now, saying that look, hukamnama asi likh de tere lai, and oh hukamnama de vich likhange asi Sikhan nu ki tera satkar karan, tenu pyar den, sara kuch tenu den. And then he got pen and paper and he gave it to Guru Sahib Ji. They wrote the hukamnama. Anayat Ali bahut khush hoya, as you would, right? It's like Maharaj writing something for you, and he got really happy. He did matha take, Maharaj namaskar ke matha take ke, utho fir tur paya. He went away from there. Then Guru Sahib Ji then continue on the palang. their beautiful case are thrown back ਪਿੱਛੇ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਟੇ ਹੋਏ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ and they've covered their head in a case ਕੀ it looks like a bit of a ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਲਈ ਹੁੰਦੀ shawl ਲਈ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਆਪਦੇ ਕੇਸ ਢਕੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ they've covered their case and their dadi looks really beautiful long ਉੱਥੇ ਪਲੰਗੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ and Bhai Man Singh are doing chaur over Maharaj with peacock feathers. Now they're walking through the jungle like this. After Maharaj has sacrificed everything, Maharaj has given up their Maharaj ne pita ji nu balita deti si Maharaj ne their father, they sacrificed their father from a young age, and then when time came they sacrificed absolutely everything. What should we say, like mata, they sacrificed their mata, they sacrificed their sons, they sacrificed their pyare Gursikhs. Uthe Maharaj ne aap dekhya shaheed hunde hoye nu in such a way as well, and fir Maharaj uthon challe paunde a. And the reason why I'm bringing all this bit up is because sometimes man jira hunda dol janda ya, sometimes we waver. I'll put my hands up to that. When we hear of certain news ਸਾਡੇ ਕੌਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ, people are coming away from ਸਿੱਖੀ, ਦੂਰ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਬੁਰਾ ਹਾਲ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਆ ਕੇ ਕੇਸ ਕਟਾਈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, they're coming away from ਸਿੱਖੀ, they're doing all that, they're doing, and then ਮਨ ਡੋਲਣ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ. And that's one of the reasons why we do Friday Night Sikhi, right? To get Sangha together, to go over history, and hopefully Maharaj does kirpa on everyone, right? But ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ Maharaj has sacrificed everything for us, right? And right to a point where there was only 3 of them left. So Guru Sahib Ji and 3 Singhs left, right? But us vele bhi the Aurangzeb had spent everything entire from their treasury, from their own jinni bhi maya si ode kol, he spent everything on getting soldiers to just capture Maharaj, to capture Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, to try and destroy Sikhi, to try and put an end to Sikhi. Sara jor lata one. The British tried to do it as well, but the British nothing compared to the Mughals. The Mughal Empire was massive, huge, really powerful. Pura jor lata. But oh kuch bagaad nahi sake sada, because even in the jungle, Chardi Kala vich sige. Sit right down to just 3. Right down to 3 Gursikhs and Guru Sahib Ji. But fir bhi Chardi Kala vich ja rahe ne. Right, they're going koi fikr nahi, koi Maharaj ji mauj vich ja rahe ne. They're doing chaur over Maharaj with peacock feathers. What happens next, we're going to have to wait till next week to find out where Maharaj go next, the next place they go to. And Otho asal mein shuru hogi. I know it's taken a couple of weeks to the build up to the actual the Shaibzaade, the Chote Shaibzaade, sorry, prasang jehda hunda hai with their Shaheedi. But it was just right to go. We wouldn't have learnt about an either. We wouldn't have even learnt about them. Because I contemplate, I'll be honest with you guys, especially because I got thrown into the deep end with the start time. I wasn't supposed to do it. Mera nahi si udhar Bagh Singh ne karna si, but udi koi emergency aa gayi, so they said, can you do it? I had to cut the Katha short. Main uthi band karti. Then I was like, I want to continue. But Maharaj do it for a reason, right? Maharaj is doing it for a reason. They're building up to that. So Maharaj kithe agge jange, we'll find out next week. Please do try and come. It is recorded on YouTube and it does get uploaded on YouTube. So if you follow Friday Night Sikhi on YouTube, you can listen to it on there. Share it with us as well. You're not going to get a chance to listen to it like in this way. Kite bhi nahi edda sikhne nu milna, where you're learning proper history. Write down and really, like look at the way by Kavi Santokh Singh have written the beautiful history. You can just imagine it all. It's so much more better than a movie, isn't it? And a movie to kinna hai so guna changa hai movie to. But even the young children, just if they use their imagination, it's like I said to you, like 6-7 saal de bache, 6-7-year-old kids that come to the Sikhi class on Saturdays, they're loving Chamkaur Di Jang right now. Or they're like, don't stop. I have to just stop after about 15 minutes. They're like, don't stop, can you carry on? I go on agle hafte I'll come next week and we'll continue karange. So then they're all going to come back. Tomorrow's going to be the last day before we break up. But yeah, it's mad, it's crazy. So guys, we'll call it a day there. We've been doing Simran after this to remember the Shaibzaade. And we have been doing it downstairs, but thale aaj Khanpad Sahib chal raha hai. So normally we do this downstairs in the Diwan hall. with Guru Sahib Ji on our side. The vibes there are with Maharaj obviously, but the Akhand Path is for the Shaibzaade, so we'll have to do it here. We're gonna finish this part here and then we'll just go on soon. But guys, if I made any